Hi there, my name is Paul Bennell, director of The Ghastly Love of Johnny X, and you are?
John Duffy, line producer of The Ghastly Love of Johnny X, and you are watching The Actors Reporter with Kurt Kelly.
Right here.
Kurt Kelly from Live Video Inc., an actor's reporter at AFM 2013. This is the 34th. So they started this the year you were born, John Duffy. How are you?
Very good.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
How many AFMs
I'd love
have
to
you
be
done
34
now?
years old
Yeah.
again.
In your mind, you are.
Exactly.
How many AFMs have you been to over the years?
Probably more than I can remember or forget to remember.
And some you probably should forget to remember.
Exactly.
So
many.
So, John, you've produced and line produced with some major celebrities.
Well, some, yeah. I line produced a couple of films with Stephen J. Cannell, who is now passed, and it was an excellent producer, writer, and a great opportunity working with him before he passed on.
Right. Dennis Quaid?
Dennis Quaid. We did Beneath the Darkness in Texas. He did an excellent job in our movie. It was a thriller. He plays a killer mortician, and excellent. We had a great time with him.
How many films have you done now over the years? Could you even remember?
Well, they keep asking me. Yeah.
The ones that they made public, that they said, yes, your name is here.
Probably about somewhere above 20, 25 features that I've either line produced or produced or co-produced or whatever.
What is some of your favorite moments from those?
Wow. Well,
some like the easy questions like that.
Yeah. The favorite moments are experiences that are really come together. The Dennis Quaid movie was one example.
I'll leave the light on for you.
Oh, Jesus!
Brian, look.
Nobody's gonna believe this.
I'm still not convinced.
Brian, we all saw it.
What's it gonna take to convince you?
We gotta go back.
Did you hear that? Now I wanna go upstairs.
Oh my God, she's dead.
What are you doing in my house? Stairs can be very dangerous. Most accidents happen in the home.
Why don't you believe us?
Danny fell down those stairs.
Kids make up stories about morticians. It's all a big joke until somebody gets hurt.
We searched that house. There was no dead body.
Honey bunny, there you are.
Help me prove he killed Danny.
Careful.
You're not going in without me.
Everyone nice and cozy.
He's not gonna let us go, is he?
Rosemary understands it's only temporary.
Why did you put him in there?
Another man fucks your wife. There's got to be some payback. You have to punish him.
You're a psycho.
Joke's on you. Ha ha!
We just had a great time filming. It was a great team. And when we were in the middle of shooting, it was in a town, Smithville, Texas, a small little town out of Boston. And the director in the middle of shooting, it was a short shoot, came to me and said, why don't we throw on a concert for the town to raise money for the Toys for Tots program? And I said, great idea. I said, after we finish shooting, right? And he said, no, while we're shooting. I'm like, okay, so in the middle of me filming this movie, we're going to do a concert with Dennis Quaid's band and your band and everybody while we're shooting the movie, right? Is that what you're asking me? He said, yeah. I said, all right, let's do it. threw on this great concert for the town, raised $10,000 for the Toys for Tots program, and just gave back to them, and we had a great time.
How very nice.
So that's one of the better, I mean, I've had a lot of good moments, but that was special. And
Certainly memorable.
Yes, and the town was very special. So we had and Dennis Quaid's band just kicked butt. They were awesome that night. So.
And I've actually seen them perform around Hollywood over the years, and he really does like to tear it up when he gets on there.
Oh, does he? Yes, he does.
So when you have been doing these films, you've seen the line producer and the producer side. For those who are still learning the business or who don't know but would like to know more about it, why is the line producer so important?
Well, it's a crucial management position in the sense that you have to be the solution to every problem. All the chaos that goes on, you have to solve that as it occurs. You have to be the voice of calm in the middle of chaos. And you have to, in the situation you get hired to handle creating a schedule, a budget, managing the production, hiring the crew, supervising the shoot, and being responsible from everything from the big picture to the little picture, all the details. So it's a total, I say, 100% responsibility for everything that goes good, bad, and ugly is on you. And while that's challenging, it's also a lot of fun because you're always solving problems, and you're the go-to person. Whenever something goes wrong, you got to come up with the answer or help come up with the answer together with your team. So it's a big responsibility. Producer now is something different where, depending on the role you play, it might be a creative producer where you're involved in making sure the story's right, picking the right director, picking the right talent, and then shepherding it all the way through distribution and sales, marketing, et cetera. So it's a more long-term commitment, and it's more of a bigger picture stuff than the actual hands-on management of a line producer. So obviously both are necessary, and you kind of, sometimes I've wore both hats at the same time, which makes it even more complicated, but fun.
Well, and it's interesting because now it seems like more than ever, you're seeing these films that come out, and I can think of several, where the film may have like 18 to 20 different various producers, associate producer, co-producer, co-executive producer, the executive producer, the producer, the line producer. Why so many people to do one darn film?
Well, most of the time it's just friends of friends. Credits are the easiest thing you can give away if you don't have anything else like money to give away. So it's like, you want a credit, take a credit.
Yeah.
As long as we don't have to pay you, I'm good with it.
Right.
So in many cases, it's that. It's a friend of the actor, is somebody who's made a little contribution here and there. And in some cases, it's people who've made no contribution whatsoever, but they get their name on the film.
Right.
So I've been on a couple of those, and it's interesting. And you never get to see who these people are. I see their names on the screen, and I go, that's interesting. I don't know who they are, any of them.
And some of them you meet and you go, really? And you're still thinking you're the boss. Okay, great.
Exactly. Exactly.
What have been some of the more challenging moments that stick out? Maybe you can name names if you want to, or to protect the guilty, you don't have to. But some of the more arduous things that you went, wow, really? I have to deal with that?
Well, I'm trying to think. I mean, a lot of it's just dealing with things that go wrong.
Right. The surprises that were unexpected.
Yeah, and they can be, just a small example just comes to mind because I'm trying to, we're in the beginning of a day getting ready to shoot. Camera's getting set up for our picture car. Only problem, the picture car is not there.
Minor detail.
Go over, try and talk to transport. All the transport people start walking in other directions. And I'm going, okay, we got a problem here. They know what's going on, but they don't want to tell me. So I have to find my transport coordinator who's trying to avoid me. And he's like, don't worry, I got it handled. I'm like, well, I want to know what you got handled first before. And what happened was one of his drivers the night before drove the picture car to a 7-Eleven without a license, and he got arrested, and the car got confiscated. So my picture car was gone. So, so you adapt, you come up with a solution. Okay, we'll shoot this. 3 hours.
We're strapping you to a fender.
3 hours later, he came up with the exact duplicate car. He had it on set. We shot it, and life went on, and everything was fine.
That's amazing.
Those are the moments, and they're like that all the time. Things go wrong. A great one. When I first came out here, I was doing a movie up at Valuze Ranch, and it was during El Nino. And I came from New York, and everybody says, El Nino, it's going to rain a lot.
Serious stuff.
Yeah, and I'm from New York. How much does it rain in California? Get out of here.
It never rains.
I'm not scared of any rain. Of course, when the water was up to my past my knees, I started getting a little worried that we had a problem. And so we had to evacuate the ranch, and the other film crew didn't get out in time, and the National Guard had to come in and rescue them.
Oh,
so I guess I underestimated that problem that day. So, those are some of the examples.
Sometimes insurance companies would like not to hear about things like that. You did
You
what?
know, I think there's a 7-year, something like
cool
that,
down
right?
period or something.
Yeah.
The 7-year itch. I don't know. So for new people getting started, who aspire to do some of the phenomenal things you've done, what tips would you offer them to get on the right track?
Well, I'm going to be doing just an example. I'm doing a production 2-day seminar down at a college in San Diego with John Paul, the great Catholic University, and they have an MBA in film. So I'm going to be teaching a 2-day production seminar down there next week.
Nice.
And basically, some of the tips, besides the practical stuff of how do you create a schedule, how do you create a budget, how do you manage a crew, how do you supervise. The biggest thing I give people are probably mindset tips. That the best thing you can be is a person that really believes that no matter what the problem is, you got the solution. Because you can learn details. You know, details, they're in books, they're in school, you can learn the details. But really, the one thing that you need to succeed is an attitude. And the attitude is really one of that you're going to solve the problem, you're going to be the answer to any problem, and you're going to keep a good attitude because you're the leader, not a follower. And as a leader of a team, you want to motivate your team to do the best work, make the best movie, and have a good time while they're doing it if you can. So all those things, by having a great attitude, you help uplift the whole team, and everybody comes to you to be a part of the solution. So that's what I try and give people is have that attitude, have the correct attitude, and you'll go far in the business. Work hard, put in the effort, keep learning, always be learning, and always be doing the best job you can do.
So almost like a cheerleader, a coach, and the doctor, and the confessor.
Psychiatrist, a psychologist. I
Diaper
also say,
changer.
I also say sometimes, I used to be a counselor in my previous life. I work with homeless kids. I work with the mentally ill. And I'm saying it's similar.
You fit great in entertainment.
The only difference is I don't have any way of giving them any medications or anything like that that they might need in some cases. But outside of that, I think every other skill kind of comes into place.
Well, there's rumors that people in entertainment find a way to self-medicate. I don't know what that means.
I don't either. I'm not going to go there.
Yeah. We've never seen that.
No.
So when people are getting started, there's also the thing about actually walk the walk. Because there's a lot of people in this business who talk big.
Right.
But being able to be a person of integrity and deliver, how important is that?
Well, I think it's crucial. I mean, you see a lot of people who bluff a lot, who hype a lot. I believe it's better to be honest and tell the real deal. If you got a problem, I'll tell you what the problem is, and then we'll find a solution. I won't make believe there's not a problem.
Right.
And being honest and authentic and having that kind of ethics is going to get you far, because you're going to, people are going to be attracted to you, but also that gives you an attitude of constantly learning. You're not trying to just make believe you know what you don't know. If you don't know, ask somebody.
Right.
I mean, I've been doing it for, a few years. Probably more than I'd like to say.
5 or 10 minutes now.
And I'm always still asking people because I don't know everything. I mean,
how can you possibly?
Yeah, and technology
Even
keeps
with
changing.
Google.
Yeah, and everything keeps changing, and there's new situations. So you always ask people who may know more than you and rely on your team to help you.
So with the changes in technology, where do you see from where we've been to where we're headed with the proliferation of new media, internet, new ways to shoot even on red and other technologies that we haven't even discovered in the last 5 minutes?
Well, once again, it gives great opportunities to people to get out there and make movies and make projects and make webisodes. And so the opportunities expand. At the same time, what's the same is what it really comes down to, like it used to be, and it still is you need a good story. It starts with the story. So if the story is no good, you can't fix a bad story in post.
Right.
So you got to have a good story. And then you have to cast well, because actors are crucial. So if you have bad casting and you have actors who don't act very well, no matter what you shoot it on, whatever technology you use, you still end up with a bad product and a story and a bad movie. So it's really... The technology gives you a lot more flexibility and a lot more opportunities, but you still got to get the key things right, which is story and actors and directing the right project.
Well, and that's a theme that I heard even on a road trip I took recently through the Midwest and the East Coast, meeting with different funds and distributors. Story is so critical, because you can't polish it if it isn't good to begin with, no matter what you do in post. You've got to have it right when you shoot it.
Exactly.
So what are you working on now?
Well, hopefully a bunch of projects. It seems like next year might be a rather interesting, busy year. Got one feature film that we're looking to shoot down in Georgia called The Sunday Horse, which is based on a true story, equestrian movie, Olympic jumping story.
Cool.
So we're hopefully going to do that in March in Georgia. And so that's one thing. Got a couple of other little projects. I'm still finishing up a project that I directed, first time directing for a friend, a combination of a narrative story and then also a educational documentary piece on the flag for a Vietnam veteran.
Oh, really?
So
Cool.
I'm trying to finish that up. And then a lot of other projects that are coming my way. So hopefully it'll be a busy year, and me and you also work together.
Exactly. I think that's a very likely possibility. So on the types of things you're looking for next year, what if somebody was going to approach you, what are your sweet spots?
Well, I love...
Aside from chocolate.
I love... particularly, I love stories that are based on true stories.
Okay.
I also like movies that are somewhat inspirational. There's one project that I'm trying to raise financing for that it's called, they call me Termite. And what that is, it's based on a true story of a boxer who fought for the championship, didn't succeed on the Muhammad Ali card. Life went on. He ended up getting a call from some friends to go to Iraq to exterminate the military bases because he was an exterminator as well as a boxer. And he went during the war exterminating the military bases. They found out that he was a boxer and they said, could you put together, what's the odds you could put together an Olympic boxing team of Iraqi kids in 10 months? And
What
he said,
year was this based in?
this was during the war in Iraq, which on the whatever year that was, 20
Yeah, 2003,
4?
3, yeah,
somewhere in there.
Bush won.
Yeah, during that period, and so he said, well, the odds are 1,000,000 to 1, and they said, great odds, go do it. So he started training these Iraqi kids in boxing, and he actually took them to the Olympics, and the kid won his first fight, beating a North Korean in the Olympic. And it's a great story of his relationship with these Iraqi kids during the war. Al-Qaeda had a hit out on his life. They were trying to kill him because they didn't like that he was working with the Iraqi kids. And it's just a great uplifting story. So that's one that just gives you an example of the kind of stuff that excites me, is just movies that entertain, but at the same time have a little bit more, just a little bit on top.
As you look back and forward, is there a project that you haven't done aside from the real life story that you, if somebody brought this to you, you would be like, this is the project I've been looking for years?
It would probably be in the same
Same
thing, because I also been writing a memoir on my life because I kind of got an interest in life. And I've read probably over 100 memoirs in the last year and a half.
Really?
I'm a big reader. I mean, my passion in life is to read.
voracious.
Any moment you see me, I'm reading. I got my Kindle. I got like 300 books on my Kindle. I just love to read. That's just like my big passion. So I've read about 150 memoirs. And once again, I'm really interested in people's lives because you get to know how different people live and what their experiences, and it expands your world because you understand people who live a different life than you've lived. And so that's probably
Opens
the
you
things.
up, I would
It does.
think,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like travel. You know, you get to meet people who have a different experience than you've had in life.
Right.
And it just broadens your horizon and who you are as a person.
Well,
so
I hope you
that's
find
kind of
that,
what
yeah.
turns me on.
So at this year's AFM, what are you looking to accomplish?
Well, here I've had a couple of meetings for some projects coming up next year. There's a movie here that I did that's also in the festival.
Which one?
The Ghastly Love of Johnny X.
Okay.
A very unique movie. It was shot in black and white. It was the last Kodak black and white stock that we
Really?
used, and we took them out. They don't have any more, and they're not going to make
They're
that
not
stock
ever
anymore.
gonna make black and white again?
It's gone down the world of digital. It's kind of sad.
That
And the
is.
director was a real film fan and wanted to make it in black and white, and he lived to his vision. And it's almost like a movie that you would have seen in a drive-in in the 1950s. It's like a sci-fi musical comedy. I mean, it's truly a cult movie. It's very unique.
Jonathan Xavier, inasmuch as you insist on being an outsider and laughing at the rules and traditions of our advanced civilization, I am exiling you to a place which has no adherence to either. I have no choice but to sentence you to Earth.
for staying tuned through that interlude.
I've been in that godforsaken desert for 40 days and 40 nights, all to get away from Johnny and his pack of jackals.
Where is she? What's up with Johnny? What's he waiting for? We've seen planet Earth for what it's worth, but there's other planets to explore.
Flying saucer.
Mickey O'Flynn, the man with the grin, is missing.
Oh my God. I might just faint.
I want to tell the whole world that I'm alive. How do you think you came back?
I have a message for the people, and I'm in need of a medium.
You'll always be an extra large to me, Mickey.
Nice.
And it's just fun, a lot of fun.
Who's picking that up here?
I'm
That company.
Yes, that company.
Okay, yeah,
Begins
yeah.
with an S, and I can't remember. My brain just did a
Sony?
No. So I'm going to meet with them later today, and
That's right.
but it's that's one thing, and then just meeting and connecting with folks that I know. I know a lot of people here, and we just kind of come together and say, hey.
Nice. Congratulations. Great to see you.
Great seeing you.
And we'll be doing a lot in the coming year ahead. I'm Kurt Kelly with John Duffy on Actors Reporter from Live Video Inc. Thank you. We'll be back with more in a moment.